Hello again, everyone. This morning finds me pondering. I've just got a whole bunch of dies. I think I bought these up at the craft day at Kenilworth. And the top one in the pile was these three Dutch-looking houses. And I thought, what can I do with these Dutch houses? And I was thinking, you know, rows of houses as you do. And I looked on Pinterest to see if there were any, you know, brilliant ideas that I could use. Most of the cards that I saw were mine, so that didn't help me greatly at all. So I thought what I'd try and do is use the tallest of the three houses as the letter L. And I just grabbed some alphabet dies out that I thought would be in keeping size-wise. And I would do the NOE of Noel. So I've got a square card, square panel. And I'm wondering what to do with this. And I thought I could cut out a panel and mount them onto it. Or cut out an aperture and put them behind. But I thought it would be quite nice to have a bit of contrast against these kind of plain letters. And I am actually thinking at the minute, white on white. So I looked through my old 2D folders and I wanted to find something that was small, that would give some texture, but wouldn't take away from the Noel. So the one I was thinking of when I went to the box was this one, which is an old Stampin' Up one, and it looks a little bit like a blanket, really, or weave or squares or whatever. There's this one, which is just uniform little hearts. This one, which is just stripes. This one, which is kind of random snowflakes, really, which is probably quite appropriate for something like a sentiment that says Noel. This one, which is like Hessian sort of stuff. And that one, which is all over dots, but they're not uniform size. They are different. There's different sizes and some gaps. So, I don't know what I'm thinking, really. The hearts would be quite nice for, you know, from our house to yours kind of stuff. That would be quite nice. I think probably any of these would probably work. The snow would be nice. This is a simple snow. I've got a slightly larger one, which is a Sheena Douglas one, which is got more random shapes for the snowflakes. This one is just little circles, but they're random size and randomly placed. So, what does one do? I've put two layers here. There's two there. Haven't stuck those yet because I am wondering whether I will just actually cut off this top one from the gable, colour it silver, and then put them back together again, and maybe do a silver door. Don't know. Could do. These middle bits haven't fallen out at the moment, so probably what I would do is to put, well, if I glue the top one to the bottom one, they'll be joined together, and that one could go onto the card and it wouldn't fall off. But what I very often do is just put a piece of tape over the back to keep all the bits actually in. So I could do the colouring of the roof and the door. I wonder what it would look like if I just coloured the bottom one and cut the top. Well, let's try that. And then, like I say to people when they say, I wonder, just do it. Because you don't know until you do it, do you really? That doesn't look very clean. Right, let's have a go. Where's my silver? Here it is. If I do this on the bottom one and cut the top one off, we would just see the silver, wouldn't we? So we don't have to be too particular about how we colour. So let's just colour the door and colour the roof. Now let's cut these off. See what it looks like together. If it does look silly, then we can do something else. Snip there, and a snip here, and it's off. Oh, not quite, says she. Right. Yeah, I think that would look all right without putting the extra on, and I can do the same by cutting the door out. Tiny cut there. That's it. And a tiny cut there. And the door has gone. So that could go on the top of there, and it's beautifully coloured then, and you don't have to worry about going outside the lines. So I think that looks quite nice. I'm going to stick that together. I approve of that. So here we go. Here's my Barely Art glue. Lots of people have been asking me what this glue is in here. Barely Art. And, oops. See, that's where the things start to come out. So I should have put some tape on the back to start. This is the lower layer, so it doesn't really matter. Pop this one on the... Oh! See, one's come out. There it is. I will put some on the back. Put some tape on the back. Trifle too long. Put a bit on this top one. Oh, and I think that's going to stick in because there's some glue on the one below. So let's just try this now. There we go. Oh, it's cool. And I thought perhaps we could have a little silver sprig of holly, perhaps on the N, kind of like that. So now I've got to decide what I'm going to do with the panel. Am I going to? I think I will. I'll cut a square out and recess a bit of embossing behind. So that's my front panel. So what size do I want? This one. Hope you can see. Or slightly larger. I've got to make sure that the embossing folders are wide enough to cover the gap if I choose that wider one. I think they just about manage it, whichever one I were to use. Okay, I think I'll go with the wider one. So we'll slide that off. We will bring my cutting plate over here. And we'll pop this in the middle. And I'm going to tape it down. Okay, here's my panel. So I could actually just emboss this piece. That would save another piece of card, wouldn't it? So just pop this through an embossing folder and we will be in business, as they say. Get this off carefully. Anytime you find it's a bit hard to get off, you can just put your heat tool on it gently for a moment or two. Just soften the adhesive and you peel it off easy peasy. Okie dokie. Now it's a question of which of these folders to use. What I often do is just pop one in between, and so you can see what it looks like. No, it's a bit fussy. Do you know, I'm inclined to use this little snowy one. I'm inclined to use this one. I did think about that one. This is, no, not that one. This one. This is the one I thought of, just, you know, in my mind's eye to start with. Let's just see what this one's like. No, it's too fussy. I will have the snowflakes. I will have the snowflakes, right. Decided. Doesn't matter with this one whether you get it in straight either, which is another bonus. Right. So there we have our little piece of embossing to go in there. This can go slightly raised on the front of the card, and our little pieces can go inside. Let's just see how we go. Let me cut one of these out and then we'll just have a little bit, I don't know which. This one is a nicer shape, but it's a bit on the big side. So I'll just cut both of them and see what I like the look of. Do you see what I mean about these ones being a much more pleasant shape than those? But they're a bit on the big side. Let's just see what they look like. I mean, I think it's got to be those. I don't like those little ones quite so much. They need to have a couple of berries in there, but even so, the leaves are not quite such a nice, I don't think. No, I prefer this one. Right, let me just start sorting this out. This needs to go onto foam tape. Should have seen me this morning. I'd knocked a roll of foam tape off its hook, and it went behind a bookcase thing that I got, you know, it's got stores on, and I was there fiddling around with rulers and goodness knows what to try and fish this roll of, I mean, it's so skinny, you can see it just rolled behind the bookcase. In the end, I managed to push it out one side and grab it with this thing. I don't know if it's sticking in your vision. This is wonderful. It's got a magnetic tip. It also has a light, and it does this as well. Can you see? So it's really handy for picking things up off the floor. Got that off Amazon. Right, I'm getting back to the business here, putting my tape on. I don't know if you've seen this little gizmo that I keep at the back here. It's really handy for putting things that I need to grab all the time, like, you know, pokey tools, pens, a picker-upper, anything that I'm going to be using frequently. So it's a really useful gizmo. I think that one was from scrapbook.com, but it just, you know, grab it. Right, let me get this on, then I can position that bit inside better, I would think. So that's going to go on like this. Okay, my piece is all taped. It's been rubbed over with the glue stick to make sure that it doesn't grab the card before I'm ready for it. And I'm going to try and position this now accurately on the front of the card. Okay, so there's my aperture. This is going to fit in there like that. And the Noir and the house are going to go directly onto it. So I think I'll do those first before I stick that in. It'll be easier to do. So let's get the position. Do the two ends first. and then the two left in the middle, so that the distance from either side is the same. So I think I'll do them near the bottom. I was wondering where to position them, but if I put it across the middle, might it look as though they're floating? I think I'll put them at the bottom. Yeah, okay. Decision made. The one at the other end, and I get it the same distance from the side and the bottom. Make sure there's lots of glue on the back to cover up, grab all those things. That's about it. Actually, while it's sitting, I'll just put that over the two while I glue these. The talcum powder that I've got in there, I use if, for example, well, this morning I put a new piece of tape on here and I went beyond the actual clip. So this was sticky. I just got a paintbrush and went over it with some talc. Not sticky anymore. If I want to get embossing powder off, dip a paintbrush into the powder, just brush it away. So that's what that's there, if you were wondering. So let's get these on. I'm putting it upside down for the minute so that I can see the position of these two. That's about right. Now I can turn this over. I'll pop that in as well. Now just see if I like these silver or whether they're going to stay white. If they want to stay white, I will cut another one, pop it on top of the silver one. So here's my silver pen. Yes, I think silver's fine, but guess what? I'm going to put a little bit of shimmer. This is my Craft Artist clear shimmer pen. You can hear it's got a ball bearing in. That's what mixes up the mica that's inside. I don't think I'm going to do anything on the house, so I'll probably just do the letters, but we'll see. I've been known to change my mind. Probably should have done this before I pop them on, but they're sufficiently raised, being a double layer, so that I don't get it onto the background as well. It's such pretty stuff, this. I love it. Isn't that lovely? I will do the house. Oh, that's sweet. Okay. Now all I need to do is to pop that into there, and then we'll pop the holly leaves on afterwards. So what I think I'll do is to put the glue on there, and then I won't be risking getting any glue from the back of there onto the sides of this as it's going down. So I'll glue the base of the card. Pretty. That's so sweet. Right, let's have the holly. Just put a bit of glue on the back of this. there we are. That was really so simple. Just need a couple of nesting dies, an alphabet, and something tall, a tree, a house, a stocking, a candy cane, whatever you've got a die of, really. But I just love these Dutch looking houses. I think they're super. So another one on the pile for Christmas. I was short this last year, got caught unawares, and I was, you know, hastily scrabbling around trying to make extra cards. So thank you for joining me. Thanks for giving a thumbs up and subscribing. Perhaps you could check your subscriptions. There have been a few times when I've noticed numbers going downwards instead of upwards. So I know YouTube in its wisdom suddenly decides to unsubscribe some people without their knowledge. So if you could just check, that would be absolutely super. So thanks again, and come and see me very soon.